Hey everybody, welcome back to my kitchen. It's Geek Girl Cook. Today we're going to be doing some goat, some brown stew goat. If you're looking for curry goat, I have a recipe already on my page with curry goat. We're going to do brown stew goat. Alright, here's the goat. Now, I don't trim my goat because with meat, this is a tough meat. You want some of the fat to be on this here. I'm not saying to leave big giant amounts of fat on your meat, but leave some of the fat on there so it can tenderize the meat for you, and it's more flavorful when you have some fat on it. Anyway, we're gonna start with the salt. Now, don't over salt this stuff because when you taste it as it cooks on, you can always add some salt. So you don't want to over salt it. You can't take away. You can always add. All right, and we're gonna put my one of my favorite seasoning, MSG, which could be salty too, but not that salty. All right, I'm gonna put not black pepper. I'm gonna put some white pepper on it. And the reason why I'm putting white pepper, because I ain't got no black pepper. Oh boy. I'm going to put some total seasoning, the perfect seasoning, total seasoning. You can go heavy handed with it. There's no salt in there. I'm going to put some onion powder. Like I say in all my videos, well, most of my videos, if it's not a salt base, you can go heavy on it. You don't have to be so light-handed. All right, I'm gonna put some beef bouillon. I'm just gonna put one because this could be salty too. But like I said, you taste it as you go. Taste your juice while it's cooking. All right. Oh, got the sniffles. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, these are allspice. Put a few in there, about that much, or less if you want. It's up to you. I put about that much. All right. Let me get a glove. I don't usually use gloves when I mix up my food, but I'm going to put a browning on it. You could use browning sauce if you like, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the burnt sugar. Now be careful using this. This is make your food very dark. So this you want to do piece, because you don't want your food too dark. Well, I don't want my food too dark. I don't know what you want. Okay, so I'm just going to mix it up. Oh, got the sniffles, guys. It's like a bug or cold or whatever. It's going around. Like, whew. Caught an ear infection. So, if it sounds like I'm talking loud, I'm really not. I just can't hear. Alright, so I'm going to put a little more browning in it because I want it a little darker. Oh, the sniffles. I'm so sorry if I'm being annoying. I'm going to try and control it. Alright. So I'm going to put a little more because that wasn't enough. Okay. Remember, piece. You can always add. You cannot take away. Unless, let me tell you what I've done plenty of times. If I put too much seasoning, I find it's too much. At this stage, you can just wash it all off. All right. Once it's cooking, you can't do that. See, if this wasn't good, I could put it right under some water, clear it, and start all over. All right, it's getting dark the way I want it. Just a little tad bit more. All right, that should do it. Oh yeah, that's good enough. That's what I want. All right, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to cut some onion up in here. I'm going to put onion more than once, because this is going to cook up to nothing, because this goat is going to cook, I would say, to be honest, about 3 hours. One thing I do not like with beef, when you cook it and you chew it up and can't swallow it because it's not tender. You chew it up for the flavor, then you just have to spit it in a napkin or whatever. No. We not doing that. When we chew this, we gonna swallow it. So it's gonna cook for a long time. And these onions are gonna evaporate. Evaporate? You know what I mean? That's what's gonna happen. Right? So I'm gonna put just a little oil to make sure that these seasonings is spread evenly, even though it makes its own oil. This is goat is a very oily meat, but I need to get the seasonings around. All right, so we're gonna let that sit. I say about an hour. All right, one other thing I'm gonna put in here. I'm gonna put Scotch bonnet in here. Now, this Scotch bonnet been in my freezer. These are actually homegrown. You don't, let me get the ice out of there. You do not want to bust this thing open. We're going to put it in just like that. All right? We're going to boil it just like that. All right? Just like that. Do not let this thing open up, because them seeds in there, you don't play with them. All right? So we're going to let this sit for just an hour. It'd be nice if you could do this overnight, but I couldn't do this overnight. So I'm doing it now. All right? So I'll see you in about an hour. All right, ladies and gentlemen. It's been about an hour. It's been about an hour and a half. Anyway. We're going to start by heating this pan. All right? We're going to heat you up. All right? I'm going to come back when this thing is heated. I don't want to be wasting your time. All right, my beauties. I think this is hot enough. So what I'm going to do is put bonnet to the side. We don't even want to take the chance that he going to bust open when it hit this hot pan. All right? We ain't taking no chances. So I'm just going to dump everything in there. Alright, remember I told you that goat is a very oily meat, and you need to let it release some of these oils that it have in there. So what I'm going to do now I'm just going to leave that just like that. Don't worry, I didn't forget about Bionic over there. He got to wait. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm just going to cover this down for a while. About 10 minutes. I'm going to let it do its little thing, make its little juices. Alright, and we'll come back in about 10 minutes. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I am back. Let's see what this here thing is doing. Let's see it go. Alright. Hold on, let me get my pot hold down. I don't want to burn myself. Look at all that juice that it made with no water. Alright. Just gonna stir it up just a little bit, a little spell or two. Alright, so I'm just gonna make a little hole right there. Now, if you watch my videos, most of my videos, the majority of my videos, I always say what? Always keep boiling water on deck. Because one thing you don't want to do is pour cold water in your meat and slow down the cooking. Alright. That much water. That much water right there. You don't need too much. And we're going to let this cook. I'm going to start it off with about an hour and a half, to be honest with you. Alright? This is when we're going to put old boy back in there. Old boy. The Bionic. We're going to put him back in there. Don't mess around with him too much. We don't want him to bust. And another thing I'm going to put in here is some fresh thyme. Now this thyme was already washed off and put in my refrigerator. Alright? So don't be talking about, oh, wash your thyme. I already did. Mind your business. Alright? So this is going to cook about an hour and a half. We're going to come back and check this. Alright? Like I said, we don't want no tough meat. And when we come back at that time, we're going to test and see how the juices is tasting. See if we have to add more salt, more white pepper, not black because I ain't got none. We're going to see what we need to add in this. Alright? But for now, we just going to cover him down and let him cook. Alright? I'm going to make some white rice. And let's see what happens. See you in about an hour and 30 minutes. Alright? Aight. Later. Alright, everybody. I'm back. It's been an hour and 40 minutes. Alright? Let's see what's going on here. Alright. Okay, so of course this is not done, not to my likings. Let's see here. No, it's not going through the way I need it to go through. Alright, so I'm going to let this cook some more. I'm going to give this about another hour. But before I put the lid on it, I need to put more water. Alright. But ladies and gentlemen, you see why it's so important to have boiling water? Look how it didn't slow down the process. All right. You see? It's still boiling. Now, when you put cold water, or even if you put hot tap water, it doesn't do it for me. For some people, it will do it. You know, you got to do things the way you feel works for you. All right. And at this point, even though I put water in it, I'm going to taste it to see if the season is, up to par. We're going to try it out. Let me see. It's pretty good. But what I want to do, I want to put another pack of bouillon. This is the one I use. Okay, I'm going to put the whole pack in there. I'm going to put just a little bit more of white pepper because I don't have no black pepper. This is good pepper too, I'm going to tell you. Alright, I'm going to put some more of my MSG, or should I say accent, aka MSG. I'm going to put that in there. And I did not have any garlic cloves, so I had just a drop of the garlic that I use, that I make myself. All right, I'm gonna put that in there. All right. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just mix it up. Now, I will tell you this. I'm not trying to make a long video. After about another hour, I would say about an hour, I'm going to put my potatoes in here. I have some potatoes I'm going to put in here. And hopefully when I come back, this is going to be done. All right, so let me explain. This has been going for an hour and a half. It's not done to my likings. It's not done to where I want it to be. I want it to be falling off the bone soft. So I'm going to put it on for another hour. I added a little more seasoning because the seasoning was not where I wanted it to be. After about an hour, I'm going to check it. And by then, it should be ready for the potatoes. I'm going to put the potatoes in. I'm going to let it cook. And then I'm going to come back and everything is going to be done. All right. And if you have any questions, what I might have done along the way, if anything is confusing to you, just put it, ask me anything in the comments and I'll answer it. All right. But for now, we're going to be gone until this food is ready to go on a plate. Now, as you see, I have no rice cooking like I said I would. But by the time I come back, the rice will be done. All right. So I'll see you in about an hour and maybe a little bit of change. We're going to see. All right. See you then. Later. All right. So I'm back. Now, altogether, this meat cooked about 2.5 hours. All right. So what we're going to do now. All right. The meat. Let me first say this. The meat is nice and tender. Oh, yes, baby. What I'm going to do now is just put some more onions in it. Because the other ones has disappeared. Dissolved. So I'm going to put more onion in there. Doesn't matter how you cut it up. Just put it in there. All right. And a small onion in there. Oop, doesn't matter. It's big, doesn't matter. All right. The onion in there. Now I'm going to put my taters in there. Now, I didn't have to put no more seasoning after it boiled down some. It was good enough for me. You have to make sure that your food is seasoned to your likings, right? So I believe I'm gonna cook this for another 15 to 20 minutes. The meat is done, and that was my main objective, is to get the meat nice and soft. All right, so I put the potatoes in here and I put onions in here. Now I want you to see something. This right here is that bonnet, the Scotch bonnet. Now it busts in my pot, and of course it made my food a little more spicy than I thought it would be. But I will tell you this, it's not too much. It's not too much, because I know to watch that Scotch bonnet. If you don't know that you need to watch that Scotch bonnet with a close eye, a cock eye, 4 eyes, all eyes, don't put it in your food. Put yourself some, they got pepper in a jar that you could use, where you can really regulate how much you put in there. All right, if you don't know about Scotch bonnet, don't use it, because if this happens in your pot and you don't know to take this thing out, oh, forget about it. Forget it. Unless you like super spicy food. If you have children, they will not eat this. You would not give this. Hey, if you give that to children, it's a form of abuse. That's all I got to say. So what I'm going to do is cover this up, and in about 15, maybe 20 minutes, maybe less, it's going to be ready. All right, and that's going to be all the cooking we're going to do. My rice is done already, and that's it. All right, so let's just let this cook. Let those taters get done. Them taters need to come to a nice soft form. All right, and on that note, we're just gonna cover this up. Let us do his damn thing. All right, when I come back, this thing is gonna be totally done. All right, see you later. All right, guys, I'm back. So this was on for 10 minutes. Let's check out and see if these potatoes are done. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This is done. That's done right there. Look at this. Look at this. All right, we're gonna put this on a plate. We're gonna plate it up. Plate it up. And I'll be back once it's on the plate to end this video. All right, I'll be back in a few minutes. All right, finally, 3 hours later, there we have it. Let me tell you something. If you are going to make this meal, this is not a meal that you're going to come home from work 6, 7 o'clock at night and think you're going to make for your family for that night. You're not going to do that with this meat right here. All right? Unless you don't mind chewing like a gazillion times before you can swallow your meat. All right. This whole meal took me, I would like to say, approximately 3 hours to make. 3 hours. But it was so worth it. I would advise you to make this on your day off, on a Sunday meal, you know, whatever. If you, listen, if you want to come home and make it and then have it as leftovers for the next day, just go ahead and do that. Whatever you want to do. It's totally up to you. But I will tell you, it's worth it. But you have to cook this meat. You have to cook this meat till it's soft. There's no need to have good meat like this where you can't swallow. You chew it and you gotta spit it out in a napkin. It's senseless. What a waste of money. This meat is cooked to perfection. 3 hours? Come on. If you gotta cook meat more than 3 hours, you don't need to be eating that meat. To be honest, we don't need to be eating meat anyway. But anyway, that's another story for another day. Let's taste it. Good grief. Look at this. See that? This is some good stuff right here. This is some good stuff. These potatoes, let's try the potato. Delicious. Absolutely delicious. I'm telling you. This is a meal that you have to take your time with. Like I did. I put the meat on, I went, I did whatever it is I needed to do. And eventually it got done. Alright? Now, like I told you earlier, if you want curry goat, I have a video for curry goat. This is brown stew goat. This is not curry goat. It is brown stew goat. There's many ways to make different meats. Sometimes we get stuck with the traditional way. We don't have to do that. Try it. Did I tell you this thing is good? Oh, no goodness. This is great. Alright. So I'm going to end this video. Camera moving. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I will try my best not to disappoint you. But you can't please everybody. And that's a fact. But anyway, I'll see you guys in my next video. This stuff is good. Anyway, I'll see you later. Bye-bye.